So I was thinking, since I am a bit behind on vlogs and stuff like that, that I would just utilize the time while I'm waiting for the boys to get picked up from school. I usually get to the school about 10 minutes before school ends, just so that I'm not waiting in super long traffic. So I figure that we can talk and hang out. So I kind of have no excuse not to do Thirsty Thursdays, because I'm pretty much just sitting in the car. But I wanted to chit chat with you guys anyway. I did post a Thirsty Thursday, so if you haven't seen that already, it is live, so go check it out. And in Thirsty Thursday, I actually talked about how I've been gaining weight and I'm not understanding what the deal is. So I actually went in today to go get blood drawn. They literally took out like 6 vials of friggin' blood from me. And I was so woozy and stuff like that, that I went, and I have my husband's car keys on my car key ring too, and I stuck his car keys into mine. Almost started my Escalade with that. I'm glad I was like, it's not working, and I pulled it out, because that would have been really bad if I screwed up my starter. But yeah, so that's what I did. I went and got blood drawn today in hopes that I will get some kind of information as to what's going on with my health. The blood test basically was to help check my thyroid, double check just to make sure I don't have diabetes, though it does not run in my family. And I've gone through several pregnancies without gestational diabetes, so I'm hoping that that's not the case too. But yeah, so I'm just chilling now at the boys' school in the parking lot, just sitting down waiting, and I figure I would talk to you guys. But today anyway, since I did that full update, I wanted to talk about depression. And I cut my hair, so can you see my hair sticking out over here? I wanted to talk about depression, and I've been asked many times to touch base on this subject. I suffer from depression. I've always had some form of it growing up, but it got really, really bad after having children. More so after I had my twins. I had a severe postpartum depression. I'm still being treated for that right now. It's one of those things that just never really goes away. And I've been really thankful that I have a doctor or doctors that have been helping me get through and cope with that without having to take medicine for it. And I'm very thankful and lucky that my husband has been so supportive in that. I mean, there's a lot of things he's had to do. He had to resign from the police department because his shift just took him away from me. This was about 5 years ago, had just taken him away from being at home with me, and because of that, it made my depression a lot worse. So a lot more worse. So the doctor said he needed to be home with me as much as possible, and that was some time ago. But I still do go through the issues of depression. It's worse when I'm on my period, but there were bouts and times where I'll just sit down and just start crying. Now, a lot of times people can say that depression is a chemical imbalance and you can take medicine for it, but the medicines are not something I want to take, because I'm so screwed up internally that I think that that just adds to the situation as well. So different ways I tend to cope with my stress, and hopefully this will help some people. Everybody is different, so please don't take this as any type of medical advice. This is what I do, but hopefully some people will realize that they're not the only ones suffering from this. And like I said, medicine or pills don't always help this situation. So for me, there are several things that I do. My husband, when he notices I'm going through a bout of depression, he will sometimes just pull me on the side and just cuddle with me, or just hold me, or sometimes he'll rub my eyebrows just to kind of relax and calm me down, and then try to make me as uppity as possible. So whether we'll go do something fun, just him and I, or together as a family. He also notices that if I'm really overworked or super duper tired or just really overwhelmed, that my depression tends to hit during that time. And when that occurs, that's when, you know, he'll step in and really help out. It's not that he doesn't help out already, but he makes sure to help out extra to try and alleviate some of the stress, because the stress or just being tired, overworked, not feeling well, all of those things help encourage the depression. And encourage may not be a very good word, but that's what it does. It really helps to feed the depression, and therefore it can bring it to surface. Now, I definitely suggest going in to see a doctor. I do, like I said, but I refuse to take the medicine. So we have to find different ways to cope. And one of my favorite things, besides spending time with my husband and my sons, which is usually makes everything better. Like I said, if I'm starting to feel depressed or I'm going through a depression stage, my husband will just take us to go do something. We'll get out of the house, we'll go to the park, just lay down and watch the clouds sometimes, and stuff like that usually helps. But music is a huge deal for me. So if you guys have noticed, I have 1 or 2, maybe 3 playlists of music videos on my YouTube channel. So if you scroll through my playlist, you'll see like music faves or easy listening music or something like that of the sort. I put those playlists up because that is my feel good music or my get me pumped and inspired music. So I usually will put stuff like that in there, or just happy music in general that keeps me going and allows me to get work done, or just lets me go through my day. And a lot of times it's usually about that 3 o'clock mark when I'm really feeling completely down and out and my depression starts to set in. So when I talk about depression, I mean where sometimes I just don't want to wake up in the morning and I want to sleep. I just feel completely down. I cry for no reason sometimes. And women can go through those types of emotions all the time already, but you can just tell sometimes when you're feeling down all the time, or you're just sad. Like, there was a time last year, the doctor changed my birth control and it was terrible. I cried for everything. And there were some days where my husband couldn't even get me out of bed. And I was so sad, or just didn't want to wake up. And it's nothing towards them. It's just something that's going on in your body. And so there are certain things that my husband, like I said, does. Besides music, I love to walk on my own. So I crank up the tunes and I go for a long walk, preferably a level plain area, because where I live, it's all hills, and that usually doesn't get me pumped up. It actually gets me a little bit more depressed when I have to walk hills. I tend to feel really discouraged. So I look for an area where I can just walk in circles or go for a nice hike without having to climb an incline, and it's usually not too bad. Water is another great thing. Water just refreshes the soul. And if you live near the ocean like I do, or if you live near the river or the ponds that you can go swimming in, freshwater ponds just cleanses the body and the soul, and it makes you feel just so rejuvenated, especially when it's nice and cold during the summertime. So we like to do that as well. Go jump in the ponds. And if you guys have been following my channel a while, you would have seen older vlogs where we take the kids to do stuff like that. But just little things like that, sometimes just getting out. Some people say retail therapy helps. I really don't think so, in my opinion. I love window shopping, but really when it comes to like shopping or going to stores, what I really love doing is going to like the old strips. So like Lahaina on Maui is like this old whaler town, and there's just art galleries up and down the streets. I love walking through the art galleries and just looking at all the art and just admiring all of that. I also love to just grab my camera and go into the forest and just take a picture of everything. And I'm not meaning like, oh, you see a flower, take a picture of it. That's great. I love doing those too. But I love like getting really up close and doing macro shots of like leaves or the bark of a tree where you really can't tell what it is unless you really know. So just do an up close shot of things like that. I love those. It really help to make you feel better. So yes, I believe and I know that medications are very important and they definitely do help. But if you don't have that option, or if you just have a little sad day, those are things that make me happy and help to lift my spirits. So I hope that those are things that can help you as well. And I have a whole list of them. I'm thinking about writing a blog post about it, or I can elaborate more. But I want to continue to do more posts like this because I just feel like there are days when I'm just feeling down and out and I need the little happiness. And so hopefully I can share a little happiness with you guys. I love watching YouTube videos when I'm not feeling my greatest. And some of the favorite YouTube videos I like to watch are vlogs, you know, family or husband and wife vlogs and stuff like that, just to kind of be like, oh yay, they're having fun. And I'm in that kind of mood. I tend to go back on my old family vlogs to try and be happy about that too. But there's tons of different ways, guys. Definitely, if at all, when you're feeling miserable, know that I'm sending lots of huge hugs and kisses your way on your bad day. And I wish that you have a better day for sure. And I hope that this video helped you out with some ideas that you can help bring a little bit of sunshine and happiness to your day if you're feeling a little bit depressed or going through some depression like I have in the past. Those are some of the things I do, and I'll be sure to share more with you. I wish you guys an awesome and wonderful day. Thanks so much for joining me, guys. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.